All right. Cause I'm tired of seeing this shit. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. It was a lot of females online talking about some relationship goals. You ain't got to be married to have a baby, and look at Rihanna, and Rihanna's a role model, and this woman of power. And then like they what they only been like what she just got pregnant, and he already cheated on her with somebody who worked for her apparently. So I mean, that just goes to show, like that makes me wonder, man. If you got one man that'll beat and one man that'll cheat, you know what I mean? What kind of woman are you? You know what I mean? So that makes me wonder, is the booty whack? I'm like, because looks ain't everything. It ain't. He probably thought she was like the like woman of the world or whatever like that, and got with her and found out she was some type of bitch or whatever the case may be. She might not give head or whatever the case may be. And he said, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm finna go get me one of them. You know what I mean? One of the pick-me's or whatever the case may be, whatever they call it. You know what I mean? So that just goes to show, like, Beyonce got cheated on, Halle Berry got cheated on, Lisa Ray got cheated on. Like, looks ain't shit. It ain't shit. I seen mad people out here, old couples who've been married for 30, 40 years, and grandma don't look that good. You know what I mean? Grandma, even back in the day, grandma looked crazy. You know what I mean? But she got herself that husband. She cooking that food and sucking that dick. You know what I mean? Like, hey, and they've been together 40 years. Happy? You know what I mean? You'd be happy to go see granddad and grandma in the same house. You know what I mean? So that just goes to show you that looks, it don't mean shit. Money don't mean shit. What people want is bliss. What people want is happiness. That's what they looking for. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when you buy that mansion, when you get that money, it's to provide for your family. It ain't all for you. But if you a woman that don't know how to keep a family or maintain a family, you know what I mean, then all of it's for nothing. And when you die, it's going to all be for nothing. And 30, 40, 50 years from now, you're just going to be forgotten about. And that's it. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure, there were a million Oprahs in the world, you know what I mean? Or whatever like that throughout history. You know what I mean? You had Cleopatra and all sorts of stuff like that. You don't hear about Cleopatra's descendants. You don't hear about her children. You know what I mean? You hear about a few things that she done that might make a woman, all because she's a powerful woman. But, you don't hear about nothing else. I'm not saying that they don't exist, but you don't hear about it. That's all it's about. Like living life is about building your legacy. That's what it's about. It ain't about being a boss bitch. It ain't about being, this Miss Independent and all sorts of stuff like that. It's about your legacy. It's about building a legacy that your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and your great-great-great-grandkids. I mean, look at the Kennedy. I can Google the Kennedys all the way back to 1101. What, they still own a castle from over 1,000 years ago? You can look up their family dynasty. You can look up their lineage. Same thing with the royal family. Same thing with a lot of people. Like, you can go back, but we don't have that luxury. And we're trying to build that narrative, where, somebody could watch this YouTube video and be like, look, this is what my great-great-grandfather looked like. This is what he sound like. You know what I mean? So, just with the ASAP Rocky and Rihanna situation, everybody, was kept on posting Rihanna talking about some, you ain't got to be married to have a baby, and you can do this, and you can be successful, and you can do this, that, and the third. And guess what? It don't fit the narrative. There's no exemption to the rule. She thought because she was pretty, light-skinned, green eyes, there ain't nobody going to punch her. Ain't nobody going to, cheat on her, and she can do whatever the fuck she want. And let that be a lesson. That's not true. That's not true. Jay-Z's not a good-looking dude, but, hey, he cheated on Beyonce, and Beyonce was Miss, Who Run the World Girls and all this other shit. You know what I mean? Miss Independent. She's supposed to have been, one of the most beautiful women on the world, most beautiful, top 10 most beautiful black women in one of them magazines. And guess what? Even he said, hey, she ain't sucking no dick and she ain't cooking. Hey, that don't mean not a motherfucking thing. Look at Lisa Ray. I used to think Lisa Ray was fine. And even her husband ain't a good looking dude. I mean, he might have been with the prince of some country or whatever like that, but he ain't a good looking dude. And even he said, hey, I'm going to slide on out. And she thick, she got big titties, big ass, and she pretty and all sorts of stuff like that, and they don't mean not a motherfucking thing. You know? All these people out, look at Holly Berry, look, all these people out here, look at Britney Spears, you know, all these people, you know what I mean, who think because they beautiful and got money that they're entitled to a certain type of presence, and let this show that that's not true at all. At all. You got to have some type of substance with you. Don't matter what the looks look like. I've had beautiful women in my life, and guess what? You know what I mean? They didn't last that long because I found out they ain't had no personality. They couldn't cook. They couldn't suck a dick. They were, you know, they just didn't have it. And it's just like, oh, you know what I mean? You might be something something good to look at. You might be pretty, but at the end of the day, a man get tired of that shit. He dead ass do. Looks ain't enough to keep a man. It ain't.